Let's mount up.
Good morning, everybody. We are about to get started for the day. We are going to get going on that bathhouse facade and see what we can get done.
What do you do?
You ready to build some Halloween stuff?
Yes.
What are we going to do?
We're gonna make a Western town like every year, Dad. How do you?
Well, what are we going to do today, though?
Oh.
We're going to work on this thing?
Yeah.
We're going to make the window in?
Yeah, we're making this in.
We're going to put it in?
This is a Faden bath.
Yep. Bathhouse?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I like going inside it, and it's a great space for hide and seek.
Nice. That is true. This facade has no windows and no doors. So let's add some. Step 1. Find the saw.
Can you see
There it is. Yep. Alright, so I went ahead and took this flat down and got the framing for the window. What I did is I put the window in there and for this to get the spacing right and everything, and then I put some trim because I'm going to basically trim it out on the inside of these this 1x stuff. So I got that done, and then I think what I'm going to do is I could either try to cut through all these guys or pull them off and cut them and re-put them back on. So I haven't really decided on that yet. But I think I'm going to stand it back up for the next part. Hello, it's another day today. I didn't get much of anything else done yesterday, just it got so hot. So we ended up going to Michael's and getting some pumpkins to carve, or actually to use for projection. But anyway, we're back at it today, and I just wanted to show you what we got going on. Alright, so we have a window here. What I did is I kept it on the table there, and just from the other side I drilled some pilot holes so I knew where, actually no, from this side, yeah. From this side I drilled some pilot holes down through in the corners. That way I knew where I needed to cut, and flipped it over, drew some lines. Actually, I didn't draw lines. Man, I'm just forgetting what I did. What I did is I flipped it over, and then I used a board, ledger board on the front, clamped it down, and then just used my circular saw to cut these guys out. So now I'm going to go ahead and start working on the window trim. Alright, I did a test fit of the window here. It's looking really good. All we got to do now is, there's Tony, don't press on the window, okay buddy, because it's not screwed in. Okay, because I don't want it to fall out. All I got to do now is put a piece of trim there, and on the top and on the side. And then got to put in some things to hold the window in place. I might put some trim here since there's a gap, like some small trim, and then on the back, actually if I put some small trim here, that would kind of hold it when we slide it in place. Here's a window from the back, showing you how that fits in there. And if I do end up putting trim on the inside, then what I could do is when we install this, because we would make it so that you can take it out, that way it's easier to store because it's glass. So I could just have like some wood pieces here or metal brackets or something that you just screw in on the corners to hold in the window there, so we could easily take it out each year. It is definitely another hot day out here, guys. 98 right now, feels like 106. Got a nice heat advisory going on. Yeah, fun stuff. Alright, I'm going to call this window done here. Well, now that I say that, it's almost done. All the trim work and woodwork is done. I got the windowsill down there and put the outside trim on, and then I went ahead and added some trim here to keep the window in. And the only thing I got to do still is this wood here is use some of the steel wool and vinegar mixture to age that. I got a couple, and then these little strips here, get those guys aged. The other ones were, I think they were stuff we got from Lori's dad from a pergola project he had done, and it was already stained and everything, so it's just been sitting out on the side of the shed getting nice and weathered, which was actually it turned out really good. Oh, and then the windows, Lori's been playing around with just dirtying them up and stuff. Looks pretty cool, I think. Got the sunlight coming through there right now. I think that's going to look really good. And then for the other side here, I went ahead and just made up some brackets, just with some scrap metal I had. These are steel studs. So I just cut out a small piece and bent it down and made a little bracket. I just got two on there right now, and then we'll probably put the 2 others on when it's all set up and everything. But that should keep that in there nice and secure. And it'll be easy to pop in and out, like I was saying, for storage. So I told you that I was working on a mount for these pumpkins, so I thought I would show you where I'm at right now with that. Usually what we do is take these guys and go way up on top of the ladder, up at the top of the facade, and then throw a ton of glue on there and stick it down, and then usually they stay up there. If we get a big windstorm, some of them fall down and you have to do the same thing. And then of course, you know, at the end of Halloween, you're ripping them off and taking some of the wood off. So I figured, you know, there's got to be a better way. So what I did is I designed a part to hold these guys. So basically I wanted a flange, and you could probably do something similar with like PVC pipe that you just buy. But you know, I have a good time in, you know, designing these things and all that, and I have got a 3D printer. So basically I made this flange here. And it has this slot right here is for the wire, like that. And then what I'll do is, in here there'll be a little plate that fits in, a round plate, and that's where the LED or LEDs will be mounted to. Right now they usually just have one. I think that's what we were putting in them. Yeah, there's just like one in there. I could put a couple, 2 or 3, and just, you know, mount them in a grouping, and then have that mount here, and then have all the connections in there. And then the way it works is, on the bottom of the pumpkin there's another flange, or I guess it's called a flange, I don't know, but basically I designed it so that they will fit together. So this piece right now is hot glued onto the pumpkin. I wasn't sure if that was going to work, but it actually seems pretty solid. My other idea is to basically add a thread on the outside of this part here and actually like screw it into the pumpkin. Or maybe I could do a combination of glue and screwing it in. So, but you see there's a notch here, and this part has that, so you slide it over the end of that, and then you turn it, and then it's locked in there. So the idea is that these guys here, this flange would be screwed on top of the facade, and then the wire goes out the back, and I've made sure that they're, you know, crisscross, so that way it locks in there. And then when you're up there, all you gotta do is just slide your pumpkin on, lock it into place. So I'm actually pretty excited with how that's turning out. And these parts are printed with ABS plastic, so they should do really well in the heat and the stress of, you know, being outside and all that. A lot of times I print stuff in PLA, which is the easiest filament to print with, but it does not do well in heat or hold up well outside. It'll warp and it'll have all kind of problems with it. So it's best to do something like ABS for strength and outside use. I mean, this thing, it's solid. It's not gonna break. So yeah, here we have a nicely aged 2-year-old bucket of vinegar and steel wool solution. Let's take a look. Ah, the smell of vinegar. Look at that. It's nice and rusty. What I am gonna do though is I like to refresh this at the beginning of the build season here. Go ahead and add some more vinegar to this. And I got my box here, random steel wool assortments. Very nice, and I will add some of that in here. This is what you want right here. Super fine steel wool. Gets things going nice and quickly. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. There's a lot more work to do, so stay tuned.